Alright, boys. So, today, I'm going to give you the exact path that I would take if I were to start over tomorrow and redo all of this shit, okay? Now, this is not the path that I fucking took. But if I had to restart, this is where I would start and what I would do. We have a whole list of shit to go through that I'm going to explain. I kept this up because I actually recorded this before and then the camera just kept fucking dying. So I have this whole list of things I want to talk about. To get you to a point where you can make trading a business, which is where I am right now. Okay, I don't know how to go from where I am right now to where I want to be, but I know how I got here and I know how to get everyone else there. A couple things we got to get out of the way is I can't fucking make you profitable. Not a single one of my videos can make you profitable. They are all profitable concepts, but they will not alone be enough to make you profitable. Same way all the content that I watched when I was first getting started was not enough to get me profitable, and I will cover that in this video. It's very important that you have to understand that no one's going to do the fucking work for you, right? You have to understand that also your timeline doesn't fucking mean shit, okay? There were so many times in this process, 3.5 years I've been doing this, that I was like, oh, 6 months, I'll be profitable. 7 months, I'll be profitable. Like 1 week, I'll be funded. Like, it's just not, fuck your timeline. It takes what it fucking takes. And I tell that to all my students. It's just the truth. The second thing is, I don't have a one-on-one. I don't have any mentorship. I have no benefit of making this video, except for the fact that I want to help people. That's it. So there's no advantage to me. I'm just telling you, if I were to start tomorrow, this is how I would do it. And the reason why I bring that up is a lot of people like to start with mentors. I don't teach anymore. I just don't. It's just too much time. It's not worth it. And not the kind of person that, I am right now to have the time to be able to teach people. It's just not, I'm just not there. There's a season for everything. I'm going to talk about that in this video. There's a season for growing, a season for building, a season for making money. When you're starting this whole trading shit, you are in a season of building. You're not making money, right? You're not starting trading to make money. The same way someone who starts a business isn't starting the business to make money. It's because they're interested in something else that they know how to capitalize on, or at least know enough to eventually capitalize on that they can then make a business out of. You don't start a business just because you want to make fucking bread, right? I've started other businesses in the past and I've stopped them, and mainly it's because it was more about the money and less about the actual interest and the ability to make this a fucking machine, right? So when you're getting started, I've kind of built this from the perspective of how do I get started for as little money as possible, and where you will always arrive. The cold truth is you got to get a fucking job. You got to have a source of income because eventually you are going to spend money on trading. Not now, but eventually. And the process will take you months before you have to spend money, ideally. Okay? This process I have outlined will ensure you don't spend any money until you are profitable. Doesn't mean you're going to pass accounts. It just means you're going to be profitable, right? You are making the investment later on once you're profitable. No money should go in unless you're buying a mentorship. And the only condition that you should buy a mentorship is if, A, the person that you're learning from has viable results that they can prove in front of you. That's always what I say. And two, the people that there's not very many women gurus out there, but he or she has taught, those people can testify that they're either profitable or becoming profitable. I've taught over 20 people. Only 2 of them have quit their jobs and are fully funded by themselves and have followed this process and don't work jobs, don't go to school. That's it, right? I myself am still in school. I'm not at the stage where I want to just go, oh, fuck it. Like, I'm just not there, right? Like I said, there's a transition between where I am and where I want to be, that every business will deal with scaling problems. That's exactly where I am right now, where I'm making enough where it's like, oh, this is sick, but scaling will eventually have to occur. But this is to get you to where if I had to start over, where I'd want to be. But generally speaking, your timeline is never going to match up with what's actually going to happen. It's going to take as much time as it fucking takes. And I put general concepts here that we can kind of keep an eye out on, but obviously it takes as long as it fucking takes. And you're not putting any money into this until you've satisfied some of these conditions that we're going to get through. Fuck, that shit's clipping. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I think it's done clipping. I'm going to just pause anytime it gets all fucked up. I don't know what its deal is. But you got to get a reliable source of income while you're building up this business because you're eventually going to spend money, so you might as well start now. I know a lot of people personally, even people that I'm really close with, whose situations could be drastically better if they would just fucking cojones up and got a fucking job just to get money into the fucking bag. When I first got started, I lost all my money and had to make it all back working, and it sucked ass. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to get ahead of that. You're going to lose money, so you might as well get a job. Definitely get a some sort of part-time deal if you're a student. If you're not a student, every waking hour that is not where the sun is up where the sun is up, you should be working and making money somehow. Get a full-time. If you're not in school, if you're not doing any college shit, you should be working full-time. Does that mean it has to be a full part-time job? No. You can do DoorDash, you can do dog sitting, you can go around door to door. For example, a lot of the money I used on Top Step accounts came from, I would put up hurricane shutters on houses in my neighborhood during hurricane season. Any possible way you can make money, pursue it, right? Just don't make sure that business is not a cost business, right? You don't want to have any cost associated with it. Don't think you're going to start a business so that you can trade. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Trading is your business. You need to have money coming in before that, right? Maybe it's 2 jobs. Whatever source of income that is, try to get that shit around 20 an hour if you can, right? Try to get it up to that. If you live in America, obviously it's different everywhere else around the world. I can only speak to that. I made $10 an hour, I made $9 an hour, and I made $14 an hour. So I understand it is very difficult, but that's what I would recommend, okay? If you're a student, it's a little bit different. Just get a part-time job, have some money coming in, or find ways to make money by selling things and whatnot. It's not hard. It's not that hard, okay? It may seem like very suffocating, but right, this video is to find that person in that situation where you have no fucking bread and you had to build this shit up. And unfortunately, it's going to take time. And a lot of you guys are going to click off right now because I just said that. And that's just the reality of it. Or you're going to stay, you're going to listen, you're not going to do any shit, you're not going to do anything about it. I guarantee you, at least 90% of the people are going to do that. That is the statistic. 95% of day traders will quit. And most of you that are watching this video are going to be those people, unfortunately. That's just the reality of it. There were a lot of times in my process where I wanted to quit, but I just kept working for it, kept backtesting, and I kept working. I knew what I was eventually going to be at. Now, I wish I started with this process instead of doing what I did and losing a shit ton of money, and I had to get over a huge barrier just to get profitable or just to get break even, right? So have a reliable source of income. The second thing you need to do is learn the basics. You can do this while you're working, right? Learn the basics. It's not fucking school, boys. You can do this shit for hours. You don't have to go for a session just learn. Just fucking learn, right? It needs to be productive learning. You got to learn the basic concepts, how to read a chart, how to read accounts. Like, that's not what this video is. This video, I'm going to outline some things you should learn, but I'm going to tell you what I did, right? So I would look up the concept. So let's say I want to learn about order blocks or breaker blocks or supply demand. I'd look up that concept, .pdf, and I would vet a bunch of resources, and I'd go through every single one top to bottom, and I'd read every fucking sentence and write everything down. And then at the end of it, I had like 7 different documents with all these different definitions and chart examples and screenshots and all this shit, put it all together and learned that way. That's brute forcing it. And that's the only way that worked for me. There's more effective ways to learn. A lot of you are going to click on this video. Well, can't you just make the video for me? I made a fuck ton of videos on this channel. There's a shit ton on here. That's just free. It's just sitting there waiting to be viewed, right? Now, I don't teach. No, actually, that's a complete cap. I've taught about order blocks and inefficiencies. I don't teach the complete model. But that's just a disservice to me, right? I'm not teaching my fucking edge top to bottom. I live stream, and if you tap into live streams, that's enough. You'll learn that way. If you literally just watch the live streams, you will learn how to trade eventually. There are people who found me on TikTok or Instagram, go through the YouTube pipeline, watch every stream, and are becoming fucking methoded, bro. They're in chat. You can see them, bro. I can think of one person off the bat right now I saw today that said the method and put a fucking screenshot of a trade that I would approve. That I would say, yeah, that's my method, 100%. And you can learn all that through me, brute forcing it. Brute forcing it is going to be your best fucking way. Concept.pdf, look it up. Any book you want to learn about trading, pirate that shit. Don't buy anything. This is a business. You want to streamline that shit. Do not put any fucking money into this shit. Don't buy some dumbass psychology book. You will learn more later in this process. This process I have developed psychologically than a fucking book will teach you. Eventually, you should read these books, but whatever. So learn the basics. I put 100 hours on there. That doesn't mean anything. But a lot of you are like, how long is it gonna take? How long until I'm How long until I know? You know when you fucking know, ho. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. It takes as long as it fucking takes to become profitable, or at least knowledgeable. Okay? Once you've put in a sufficient amount of information and you know the following, okay? You can read a chart. You gotta pick an equity, obviously. So what would I pick? Forex. No. Stocks and futures. You're going to trade stocks and futures. Stocks and futures. There's no other fucking choice. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Nothing else. You're going to trade stocks. You're going to trade futures. It's so fucking easy. If you're a futures trader and you refuse to trade stocks, you're a fucking loser. If you are a stock trader and you refuse to trade futures, you're a fucking loser. Trade fucking both. There's a reason why, and we're going to build to that, right? 2 sources of income. We're going to explain it. So you got to learn about the equities, the underlying assets. You got to learn about the basic shit. What are those equities made of? How do they work? Options, how do options work, right? You need to learn about how to read candlesticks, how to read the chart, how to read trends, how to use TradingView tutorials, how to read news. What is news? What is a catalyst? Learn about RSI, EMAs. Learn about super trends. Learn about basic shit. Then move on to supply demand theories, order blocks, breaker blocks, rejection blocks, mitigation blocks, external liquidity, internal liquidity, static, dynamic. Learn how to create a market bias, right? Learn about volume profiling. Learn about market delivery. Learn about inefficiency, efficiency. There's so many concepts. Just look up the concept.pdf and absorb. Okay? Put in shifts. Just spend as much time as you can while you're making money from your part-time or full-time job or business or whatever. Learning. You are in the season of learning, not the season of making money. Understand that, okay? For me, it took probably somewhere about 100 hours to get the general idea of what I was trying to accomplish. Learn how a trade works, why it works the way it works, right? Not just buy, sell. Why does it work through liquidity means, right? Through market delivery, through efficiency, inefficiency. Learn the model of the market, not fucking candlestick patterns, none of that bullshit. You have to learn the underlying movement, how it works from a volume standpoint between buyers and sellers, not just some bullshit, right? You are going to become a technical trader. You're not going to be some speculative guy. You're still speculating, obviously, but you're going to develop an edge that's based off of volume, that's based off of highly tested theories, right? Not some fucking dog shit. Then, once you spend a sufficient amount of time and you feel like you know a lot about trading, and that's when the confidence is going to start to kick in, where you can see setups on the chart, right? And you're starting to learn. Some resources I would recommend. TT Trades is great. Again, look up everything.pdf. You'll find everything you need. That's what I did. I didn't watch a single mentorship. I've never paid for a mentorship. I've never watched ICT. I've never done any of that shit. Never. Ever. It's fucking useless. You don't need that shit. Some people want to accelerate that, and they'll get a mentor, right? And then they can accelerate their growth, and that's great. But some people don't even have the money to do that, and so you can't skip that time. I always refer to getting a mentor like skipping 6 months to a year. That's usually what I think it would do for a lot of people. For me, learning all this shit took probably about 100 hours, 200 hours of learning over the course of like 3-4 months, I'd say, of just kind of developing and learning and growing. It is what it is. That's the worst part of this process, is that part, because there's so much out there. And my honest advice is absorb it all. Just dive right fucking into that shit. Start at the bottom, work yourself to the top. YouTube, PDFs, just read everything. Just follow the trail, okay? Follow the fucking trail, right? There's no defined process. I have an education tab in the Discord where you can learn the real basic shit. You can watch my YouTube videos. TT Trades is good. No one else really. I wouldn't even watch TJR. It's not technical enough. It's shit, bro. It's fucking dog shit. It works for some people. I would recommend straightforward brute force method, that shit. Once you've learned the basics, you're going to do what I call is the baseline test. You're going to sit down for as long as it fucking takes, and you're going to take exactly 100 trades, and you're going to chart the following on an Excel spreadsheet and save this Excel spreadsheet, because if you don't, it's a waste, right? We want to use this moving forward in the process. So this baseline test is very simple. You're going to take 100 trades. You're going to chart the following. The day you took the trade, so this is backtesting, by the way, on TradingView. In order to get this, there is a cost for TradingView that we're going to get into. We're going to go over the cost of this business. I'm treating it as a business, teaching how to make trading a business profitable for you wherever you are. It's very cheap, though. Very cheap. We're going to get to that. But you're going to go in replay mode. You're not going to start a demo. You're not going to start a live. At this point, a lot of people are learning the concepts. This is what I did. I started to learn shit. I'm like, oh, I'm going to start playing with some money. Nope, you're not there yet. We're not doing that. We're trying to reduce the amount of time you're in the red for as long as possible, right? You're going to lose money. Let's postpone it for as long as possible and have it be because of psychology and not be because of lack of knowledge, lack of experience, etc., right? Have it be because of bad trades that you're learning from, or preferably not even that. Preferably you've done that in the demo process I'm going to get through, but preferably just psychology or accidental entries or whatever, just stupid shit, okay? Not because the trade was bad. Hopefully you just wouldn't have taken that at that point. But the baseline test, you're going to sit down 100 trades. You're going to chart the following. The day you took the trade, the position angle, was it a buy, was it a sell? The equity you traded, was it a stock? What stock was it? Was it a future? What future was it? Your entry price, your exit price, your P&L, your risk to reward, your win rate, being was it a win, was it a loss? The reason for entry, the reason for exit, the time you entered the time, like the candle, the whatever time you entered, the time you exited, the any other notes you have, right? And a screenshot of the trade, right? So you have all the stats of that trade. At the bottom or the top of your Excel spreadsheet, you have all your average statistics. What is your average day? Is your most profitable day a Monday? Is it a Tuesday? Is it a Wednesday? Your average win rate, your average risk to reward. You're going to take 100 trades. I don't care about the results. You're going to sit down 100 trades. You take 100 trades. You just backtest until you have 100 trades done. It's an even 100. It's a lot, but it's what's necessary. That's what this entire process is going to be. It's going to feel like, oh, that's a lot. I don't want to do it. Well, sorry, but it's probably going to take you a whole lot longer. I didn't do this shit, and it took me a whole lot longer. I know exactly where this road will take you. It's where I am right now. And this is exactly what I would do, word for fucking word, if I had to start again tomorrow. I mean that shit. So 100 trades, get your average statistics, and here's the rule. If your baseline test comes out with a slight edge, okay, this is a 50.999% win rate. If it's slightly above just flipping a fucking coin, right, you perform better than flipping a coin, and your risk to reward is slightly better than a 1 RR, like this is an example, you are free to move on to the following steps. Does not mean you're profitable, does not mean you're a trader at all. Don't put that shit in your Instagram bio. All this means is that you are now able to move on to these next steps. If these do not apply to you and you are in the sub 50% group, hold on, shit's bugging out. Okay, I think that the bitch is fixed. If you are not in the category of people that are more successful, what you're going to do is you are going to go back and you're going to compare, and it's not the last time you're going to do this, you're going to go through the reason for exit, reason for entry, okay? You're going to go through all of your losing trades. Start with your losers before you start with your winners. Your losers, if you remove your losers, they will drastically impact your win rate at a much higher degree is what I found for myself, right? If you can figure out why your losers are losing so heavy or losing in the first place, you take care of two things, right? So very important to start with your losers. Analyze why you've lost, the reason for entry, reason for exit. Go back to phase 2, the learning, and figure out what is not matching up. Is it not understanding order blocks, not understanding inefficiencies? What exact piece are you fucking up? Okay, backtesting is pointless if you don't have news up, your Excel spreadsheet up, and your chart up, and you're going click, 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 notes. That's pointless. If you're not doing that, it's pointless. If you're just going fuck, nope. Unless you're profitable, there's no reason to do. If you're starting out, Excel spreadsheet, the news up to see if there's any important news that's going to hit on this backtest today, and the chart, candle by candle, slow and tedious, right? You're going to go through all of your losers, analyze why you've lost them, take notes on why you've lost them, go back, learn the concepts that you might have messed up. This is where it gets easier to learn, is because you actually know what you're fucking up, because you have more experience with this, right? You're probably in the 200, 300, 400 hours of backtesting at this point. Once you're ready and you've figured out why you've lost those trades, what you're going to do, and you know exactly why you lost those trades, you're going to subtract all of your losers, all of the losing trades. So let's say you took 100 trades and you lost, well, if it's sub 50%, you lost 50, or let's say you lost 60 of your trades. You're going to take 60 trades. And does your win rate improve? Yes or no? Do you meet the standard yet? If no, you do it again. You go through your losers. You remove the losers from your total number of trades, and you keep backtesting until you have 100 trades, until you get to this baseline. Once you have that baseline, you're free to move on. Now, a lot of people would prefer to just spend their time in this phase for as long as possible to get that high. That's kind of what I did. It just takes way longer than you would prefer. The idea is, let's not stay backtesting too long, right? This is just enough to get you moving forward, but here are some general statistics. To get on a funded account, I would recommend backtesting. You can win anywhere from 55 to 75% of your trades with an average risk reward above a 1.25, floating a 1.5, preferably a 2. Okay, 1.25 is probably not going to cut it, but a 1.5 to a 2 is probably all you need to make trading work. That's basic shit, right? So if you pass this test and you're finally seeing why you're losing, you can move on to the fourth step. You are going to establish a TradingView demo, 2 of them. You're going to have a 10K stock account and a 50K futures account. Why? It's because when you're moving on in this process, these are our goals. To have $10,000 in our stock live and $50,000 in our futures account, right? Because Top Step has 50, or whatever firm usually has 50K accounts. It's usually the cheapest account. So you want to start there, right? You just sip. And might as well practice for what the real world application will be. We're still in the season of building, okay? So you're going to have 2 accounts with TradingView. Down here on the trading panel, you can just go there, click paper account, have 2, a futures account, a stock account, and you're going to run that for as long as it takes. And you're going to constantly ask yourself, am I ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? When you stop asking yourself and you know based on statistics, you're going to reuse that Excel spreadsheet, you're finally ready. Not for a funded account, but we're going to get there. The idea of the demo is you're going to experience market conditions for the first time, live market conditions, and see if there's any wavering. Okay, this is stage 2 of trading. Any waver between your backtesting and a live market scenario, although it's demo, a live market scenario. You want to treat that money like it's fucking real. There's no hallucination you can really do, but you have to really program yourself to think, okay, this is my money. I'm building something for the future. How do I make this profitable? So here's what I recommend. When you're simulating trades, the only thing you need to really trade if you're trading futures, and I'll give you a list of the equities I would trade for the whole list is this. If you trade futures, it's NQ or ES, and you're going to trade the micros, so MNQ and MES. If you're trading stocks, you can start with my list, but an even simpler list is SPY, QQQ, IWM, Apple, NVIDIA, Tesla. You can start with those 6. There's more to that you can add on later, but that's what I would start with, right? There's way more. That's what I would start with, okay? It's like 6 equities because MNQ, MES, and M2K, which is, it's SPY, QQQ, and IWM, just the futures version. You're going to buy 2 to 4 contracts. You're going to simulate them with 2 to 4 contracts per trade. And if you're doing stocks, you're going to buy 300 shares. This represents 3 contracts in the option space being 100 shares. It's not perfect because every stock is different. There's intrinsic, extrinsic value. There's the Greeks and whatnot in the options world. But our goal is to transition to an options live and a bunch of funded accounts on futures, right? So you have stock options on a live account and futures funded accounts or future live accounts if you make it that far. And we're simulating both of them. And why do I say 300? And I do this when I stream. It's so that we can practice risk management. You take 100 off at a time. That's 1 contract. 100 shares equals 1 contract. You can think about it that way. Okay? And you're going to simulate this while you're still working. You're no longer you're not stopping backtesting, by the way, but you're no longer just backtesting. You're also on this demo, right? Once you have a slight better edge than a coin flip, right? And then you're going to do the same thing you've been doing. You're going to compare your backtesting to your demo results. You're going to have your stock account on an Excel spreadsheet. You're going to have your futures account on an Excel spreadsheet. As well, you have your stats down here in your TradingView panel. Get familiar with TradingView, please. It's going to save you. Learn the shortcuts, learn the commands. But have all your trades, document them well. Every trade you take should be journaled, otherwise you're fucking fried. I don't mean, but the psychology. No, fuck your psychology. You need the statistics of your trade, right? That's the only way you're going to get profitable. The biggest boost I ever saw in my win rate is when I started analyzing all of my executions. That's when I started fucking learning. Like, okay, I see. That's when I saw the biggest change in my life, is when I started doing that shit. Do that shit. I promise you, it'll change your life. So what you're going to be doing on top of this, okay, is you are going to be backtesting for at minimum 2 hours a day. Now, if you watch me and you're a fucking dude with balls, you probably go to the gym. So why don't you backtest while you're at the gym? If you don't have time in your day, backtest while you're at the gym. Everyone's, on average, like anywhere from an hour to 2 hours at the gym. So just backtest while you're at the gym. That's what I do if I don't have enough time during the day to backtest. And I still backtest during the day if I'm bored, okay? But at the gym, I'm constantly backtesting. I mean, you can, fuck, my roommate's here. Am I not backtesting when we're at the gym? If I'm just, yeah, exactly. I got my phone out and I'm backtesting. Oh, even now, I'm still backtesting. It doesn't change. It doesn't change shit. 2 hours a day at minimum, okay? But if you're charting for 7 hours and you're not learning shit, get the fuck off. If you're charting for 30 minutes and you're not learning shit, get the fuck off, right? But the idea is you are actively learning about the mistakes as well as the successes. What's making you good, what's making you bad. Focus on improving the good, reducing the bad. Now, when you're demo live trading, stay on for 2 sessions, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 2:30 to 4 p.m. Don't worry about Asia. Don't worry about London for futures. Just focus on New York. Master New York first, okay? Trade your stock options here, trade your stock options here, trade your futures here, trade your futures here, okay? Now, what is this right here? This is the cost to have TradingView. $7 for futures live data, $25 for the subscription that I would recommend, okay? That covers everything you need. That's a month. So it's $32 a month to learn to trade. You don't need any fucking journal. You don't need any of that shit. None of that shit. Do that once you're profitable. Businesses don't invest in themselves until they have a fucking product. You don't have a product until you have a sufficient win rate. You're going to run this demo account not when you feel ready, until you have a sufficient amount of data to prove that you are profitable on a demo live account in both stock options and your futures. And if you are, great. You can start as many of these demo accounts as you want. But if you can get that to pass, what does it mean to pass? Well, you're going to find the firm that you want to trade. I'm going to recommend TopStep for this example. That's what I'm doing here. But you want to find that firm. And since we start with the 50K, how much money does it take to pass a TopStep 50K? $53,000. You need to make 3K, right? If you can get that account without crazy drawdown, following their rules, find the firm that you want to trade with. Again, in this example's TopStep, find their rules, copy paste all their rules in ChatGPT, have it spit out the results that you need to hit, and make that your goal for all your demo accounts. Your stock options is just for fun. That's just learn how to trade stock options, right? I'll get to how I would do that in a moment, the stock paper or whatever. But the idea is you want to follow the firm that you plan on using their rules on your demo before you even touch the firm, okay? Then for this example, let's say you've run your futures account for a month and you've made $6,000 and you've not lost more than 800 and drawdown's been good, win rate's still comparable to your demo accounts or comparable to your backtesting accounts and your other demo logs, and everything is consistent, then you can buy a $50 TopStep. That's going to give you a 50K account. Now, what are you going to do with this account? Are you going to start trading on those simulated funds? The answer is no. You are going to start a practice account at TopStep. The reason why I recommend TopStep is because they're the only ones I know that do this. You can literally practice in their terminal. You're going to do this, for as long as it takes. I'm throwing a random number out there for like 2 weeks. Practice the simulated funds for 2 weeks. It's a simulated, right? So you're buying a funded, it's a simulated practice account. The reason why is you want to mitigate all the transitions of psychology going into each phase, right? So now you have a funded account, you have different level of, I had to pass this eval. No. Practice on the paper version of the simulated funds, and you can practice on that. Do it for 2 weeks. Just before the billing cycle, if your results have varied anywhere from your demo account from before or your backtesting log from before and that you're currently running, something is wrong with your executions. Is it your execution or is it your psychology? Figure out the answer. If the answer is psychology, fix that shit. If the answer is executions, fix that shit. If it's still comparable to your results from before, then you can move on to the actual account. You can actually use the account, okay? We're still on this $50 TopStep, by the way. You can actually use the simulated, not the simulated, but you can use the funded account now. It doesn't mean it's passed. You can use the evaluation, okay? If you manage to pass the evaluation and you get to 3K and you pass the account, you have to spend $150 for the activation. Buy the account, put the activation into it. You have a job. If you listen to step number 1, you can pay for that. That's a lot of money for a lot of people, but just spend the money on it, okay? And a lot of people are going to want that money back immediately. They're going to want to start trading in that account immediately. The answer is no. We're going to get to that in a minute. On an aside note, Robinhood and Webull have stock options paper platforms where you can paper trade options, I believe. Not really on Robinhood, but you can actually save the contract on a watch list and watch its performance on Robinhood. With Webull, you can actually paper trade options. So while you're working on TopStep as well for passing this account or working with the simulated funds, you can also run a simulated live on Webull or Robinhood because we're eventually going to transition to those for our stock accounts, right? We have a stock account, we have a futures account, we have them as demos as well to practice. So once you pass the account, let's say you pass it, you fully passed it, you're going to want to start trading on it. The answer is no. You're going to pay the activation, you're going to just throw it on the shelf. You're going to buy another evaluation account, and you're going to pass that account. If anything happens in your statistics or something varies, you're not ready to have and start trading these live funds, right? You're not ready to trade these funded accounts. So what you need to do is go through the process of, I'm still in the phase of building accounts. So you buy another one. If you ideally, if your statistics are good and you're actually ready to start trading these funds and not just lucky, you should be able to pass all these accounts within a relatively similar timeline, right? If it takes you 2 weeks to pass an account, each one should be passed every 2 weeks. Does that make sense? If it takes you a month to pass one and then a day to pass another, you're not a profitable day trader. You understand? So the idea is you bought the account, You've now passed it. You've shelved it after activating it. You buy a new account. Okay? Or you don't activate it, whatever. Whatever you want to do, you have to look at the billing. But you just start stacking them up. You don't trade any of them yet. You build them up until you have 5 of them. That's all they let you have. 5 50Ks. Don't worry about 100K or the 150K. 5 50Ks is the goal. There's a reason behind this. We're going to get there in a minute. But now, with these 5 50Ks, each one has a limit of $5,000 of payouts. So that gives you max profit of 25K per cycle. You can make 25K per cycle. That's just their rule. Basically, 5K per account, 5 accounts. That's it. So here's how it's going to work. Now you pass 5 accounts. You have 5 top-step XFA accounts, express funded accounts. So now what you want to accomplish is you want to now trade on one. You just want to now trade on that now passed account, that one XFA. If all things are good, all your stats are comparable to the other 4 stages that we've just been through, copy trade to 2. If these 2, nothing has changed in your psychology, nothing has changed in your strategy, copy trade to 3, and so on and so forth. You see the idea. You're building, and then you're going to extract those payouts, take them, I'd say whenever the account balances get a little bit higher than you'd prefer, withdraw, or just withdraw on a semi-consistent timeline, like 14 days or whatever. Take those payouts, settle your debts with TopStep. At this point, with all the activations, you probably paid like $500 of activations, probably a couple cycles of billing, so you're probably around $800, $900 in the can. And a lot of you are like, fuck. This is over the course of like months though, and spending no other money, right? Whereas me, I spent 10K to lose I lost 10K, I should say, to just then end up spending probably $1,000 in TopStep, to then get payouts, to then get break even, to then to be where I am today, with different accounts and different live accounts. It's a process, right? And this is what I would do if I had to start again, right? So once you've taken the payout, settle your debt, get to break even. Should happen within your first payout, truthfully speaking. Your first payout should help cover, or at least should cover, the account, right? That's your fees and your losses and whatnot. Now what you're going to do is your second payout is going to start funding your live account. None of that is profit. You still work a job. You're still a little job guy. You're still a student, okay? Your second payout is going to go directly into Webull or Robinhood, so long as you're still profitable on those live. It's a different world on those stock accounts as well. You're going to now transfer that payout to a live stock account, right? Those options accounts, right? You want to build that up to 10K. So you're investing 10K of your payouts to your live account, 15 of that, since you get 25K of max payouts, assuming you can successfully keep this. This system assumes that you've been able to build the skills along the way to not blow these accounts, right? If you're able to be this patient over probably 6 to 9 months to a year of work, dedication, of building accounts up, and learning all these concepts and backtesting from when we first started at step number 1, assuming all that goes by, you're not going to blow these accounts. You're going to get them to max withdrawals, right? Exactly like I'm in my situation right now. So once you've got that 25K of max withdrawals, over time you're going to build up that live account. You're going to trade on that live account. Try to get that live account from anywhere from 5K to 10K of your total payout. The rest goes into savings, settle your debts, anything else, and also to build to more scale. To scale more accounts. And you're going to just repeat the cycle of cycling accounts. Whether it's with TopStep or other firms, you're going to build your funding up, right? You can only really get like $250,000 with 50Ks, but you can build that up. Now you can trade 5 100Ks or whatever they let you trade, or 5 150Ks or whatever they let you trade, right? You're going to slowly scale that out, right? That's the idea. Build that up, have your 10K live. While you are building up this machine that's growing exponentially with TopStep or whatever firm you use, your 10K account is going to start to pay the bills, right? So you have your job, you make whatever amount of money from your job. Now you have your 10K live. Withdraw from the top every week. I don't care if it's in loss. Withdraw from the top. If it's in loss, obviously you have to build it back up. But if it's over 10K, withdraw. Cut it. Every time. Withdraw from the top. Pay yourself out. That's going to start giving you some little breathing room, and use that money to then fund back into your funded accounts. So you got your collection of funded accounts, you got your live account, profit goes into the live account to build a live account, this profit goes into buying more accounts, back and forth. You keep this at 10K, you withdraw from the top. This is more money coming at you, whereas your funded accounts are building the machine, you see? General idea is this whole process allows you to lose all of the money that allows you to lose as little money as possible, and towards the end, once you're profitable on activation fees. That's all it is. And then at this point, you're just going to scale and you're going to grow this out into new accounts. It's not hard from a knowledge standpoint, it just is arduous. I see this realistically taking you anywhere from 9 months to a year and a half, right, of work. Some of you have gone about it the wrong way. Some of you are probably will never go about it the right way, and you're not going to listen to this video. But if you step by step go through this is exactly what I would do if I had to start over. It took me 3.5 years to get where I am, just to get to this last stage, right, where I'm paying myself out with my live and I have my funded accounts. It took a long fucking time. This will probably take you about a year to build up to this point, to have a system where you could be withdrawing like 15K, 20K a month. Like, that's crazy. That's numbers, son. That's numbers. All right, boys, that is all I have for today. Hopefully this was knowledgeable and you've learned something. Again, a lot of you aren't going to listen to this shit. You're not going to make it this far, and that's just the reality of it. There's going to be one person out of if this gets 100 views, there's going to be one person at this point, or 1 to 5 people that are still watching to this point. And you, my friend, are going to be profitable. I can guarantee you that. So, anyways, take care. Fuck off. You're welcome.